account of Eleazar doing the will of Abraham, which is really doing the will of God. The story in all of Scripture, it teaches us that our lives are not ruled by chance or by fate. Too often people talk about, oh, that was a lucky break. Really? No, it was God. God was working. He was working to get your attention. He was working that you might see that He's blessing you and He's protecting you. Yeah, but I had an accident. And that always reminds me of Bernie Octor saying, yeah, I had the best accident in the world today. What in the world are you talking about? How do you have the best accident? I don't know how that works unless the guy gave you $1 million because you ran into him. And he said, well, the guy was a Christian, and we got to share with the cop that came to write the ticket. And Bernie had ran into the guy. Great faith. Believing that God is working in all the events of our life. Not by chance. God's always faithful to His children. He'll be faithful to you. Will you trust Him? Will you obey Him? Will you rejoice in what He is doing in your life? Our challenge is to be faithful to God. That's our challenge today. Will we be faithful to God? Does He need our help? No. What does He want? He wants a relationship. He wants a relationship with you, an intimate love relationship. He wants your complete trust, that you will trust Him, that He will do what's right, that He will do what's best, and that He's always working. So here's the invitation. The invitation is for us to make that commitment. God, I want to trust in You. God, direct my path. Lead my life, Lord. Psalms 37, 23 and 24 says, the steps of a man are established by the Lord, and when he falls, he shall not be hurled, and the Lord delights in his ways. And when he falls, he shall not be hurled headlong, because the Lord's holding his hand. We're going to stumble. God knows that. We were talking about that Thursday night in men's. We're going through the book, Not a Fan. And that was the thing that I think we all came to. There's times that I'm going to be a follower with no problems, and there's times that I'm going to act like a fan. And Scott gave a great analogy of that with the people that walked out at the 2-minute line of the game with the Seahawks in Green Bay. They paid that money for the tickets, for the seats. They were discouraged because it looked like Green Bay had won, and they left, and their team come out on top. And they missed the most exciting part of the game. Because why? They were just fans. They weren't real followers. And so that connects, and Scott made that connection to our lives. Are we a fan or a follower? Abraham was a follower. Sometimes he slipped in and he was a fan. And we see how Eleazar's life is affected. And at this moment, he's a complete follower, trusting in God all the way. Will you trust God? Father, hear our hearts. Hear our prayers, Lord, as we seek You in these few moments, and answer Your invitation to come all ye that are weary and heavy laden. Come all you that have anxieties and cares and woes, and cast them on Me. That's what You say. Cast them on the cross. Cast them on the Lord. Lord, where we've stumbled and fallen, where we've been a fan and not a close follower, I pray, Lord, that You would show us that we might, Lord, confess it and move forward and trust in You, that You will guide and direct our lives.